So, in this little video, I'm going to be going over polynomial division. I do have another video that goes over it a slightly different way. I've found that a lot of people are not comfortable with the box method, so it's different. I learned it. My wife taught it to me. I'm like, sweet, let's do that then, and see how it goes. Some days it works better than others. So I'm sure that I'm going to get lots of comments that says, hey, you can use synthetic division doing these. Yeah, but synthetic division kind of sucks when you don't have binomials that are linear. Then it becomes kind of pain in the butt. So I just typically do this, and I can run it almost as fast as somebody that can magically do synthetic division. So it's to each his own. All right, here we go. The idea behind this is the same. Just like long division of real numbers, you're going to make decisions based on what you're presented. The only difference is instead of using all of x plus 2, we are going to use only our x to make our decisions. And so I'm going to start with the first terms only. Everything else is going to follow from it. So, what about the plus 2? It just comes along for the ride. It's in the back seat. Nobody cares. It can sit back there and whine. So here we go. X goes, or first of all, let's put the 1 here. It kind of helps. 1 goes into 3 times. I'm putting it over the x squared because I know there's an next piece coming. X times what is x cubed? It's x squared. I am a stickler for lining up my columns. Doesn't mean you have to be. So once I've made my guess up top here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply that through, just like in long division of real numbers. And I'm going to bring the answer underneath. So this is going to be 3x cubed plus 6x squared. Now, when we're dividing out whole numbers through long division, or I'm sorry, real numbers through long division, we go ahead and we subtract off the value. Well, we can't just subtract off the x cubed, or the 3x cubed. We have to subtract the whole thing, all of it. So parentheses and subtract. Until you get extraordinarily good at this, I highly recommend it. Otherwise, I guarantee you're going to make a sign error. And it's like, yeah, but it's just a sign error. Yeah, you're right. In math class, nobody gets killed yet. Once you get higher in math class, people die. It's one of those things. All right, so let's go ahead and do the subtraction in black, and then we'll switch colors for the next step. So 3, and I read through this, so it's 3 minus 3 is going to give me 0 x cubed. I put this down because it's the goal. You should be eliminating that lead term each time that you move through this process. If you're not, go back and re-guess. 4 minus 6 is going to give me a negative 2x squared. Bring down our plus 3x, that next digit. All right, now we're going to take a look at, let's see, let me go back, erase these things. Let's take a look at the negative 2x squared and the x. So 1 goes into negative 2 times. X times what is x squared? Just x. And now we've made our second guess. So, just like before, we distribute through, and now we're going to bring down to the next level. Negative 2x times x is going to give us a negative 2x squared. And then negative 2x plus or times a positive 2 is going to give us a negative 4x. Parentheses, because we're subtracting off all of the value. Now I'm going to do something here I don't normally do in practice because the way that I read through the signs kind of helps me out. But kind of off to the side here, I have negative 2x squared plus 3x, and I'm subtracting off this negative 2x squared minus 4x. It helps some people to just go ahead and distribute this negative sign through, changing both signs. So negative 2x squared plus 3x, and then we're going to get a positive 2x squared, the other squared, kind of where you get the 2. There you go. And a negative times a negative is a positive on the 4x. And then you just add right down the columns, and so you get 0x squared. And then you get a plus 7x. Now, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. And if you're more comfortable that way, by all means do it. Shame on anybody that tells you otherwise. But I can read through this, so that's the way I prefer. So I have negative 2 minus negative 2 is a 0. X squared. 3 minus negative 4. Subtracting a negative is like adding. And so I'm going to have 3 plus 4 is positive 7x. And then we swap colors. I don't want that. I want orange. And we'll bring down this 14. Finally, we come over here, and let's erase some of that so we get a little bit better look at it. We're going with our top again, or our first term here. 1 goes into 7, positive 7 times. And then you notice that x doesn't need to multiply by anything to create an x, so we're good. We're done with x with x's here. 7 times x is just a positive 7x. 7 times 2 is a positive 14. Parentheses subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0, x. 14 minus 14 is 0. That's good. That means we have no remainder. If there was anything left over here, then what would happen is we would try to bring down the next piece, and we can't. And because the degree of our divisor is now greater than that of our remainder, we're done. But in these two examples, we're not going to have remainders. So this is our answer. That's it. Now, one of the things you can do is you can go back and test it just to make sure it works. You have to be kind of cautious when you do this. Just make sure that you're doing the multiplication correctly. Because if you're not, you can come up with a quote-unquote right answer if you screw up twice the same way. So we're going to distribute this through. It's going to give us 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 7x. We'll distribute this through, grabbing up the sign along with it. That's going to give us plus 6x squared minus 4x plus 14. And then if we go ahead and we combine the like terms, we're going to have 3x cubed. That's all done with that. We have this positive 2x, or I'm sorry, negative 2x squared, and a positive 6x squared is going to give us a positive 4x squared. Those are done. I have my positive 7x, my negative 4x for positive 3x. Those are done. And then my plus 14. And, well, that matches what's underneath. So, as best as I can tell, this is the correct answer. So, our answer to this, the original problem, is 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. All right. On to another, sir. Let's start a little bit different. Come on. Nope, you're not going to do it. All right. So, in this next one, it's going to work exactly the same way. There's nothing going to change about it. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start with that leading term on both and make our decisions that way. 1, this leading 1 that we don't see, goes into 7 times. Again, if you put your 7 over the x to the 4th, it's not going to change the answer. It's just going to simply change the way that it looks. It shifts according to what I do. So don't worry about it. It's fine. And then we go, okay, well, how many more x's do I need to get from 1 to 4? I need 3 more. And so now I go ahead and I distribute. So 7x cubed times x is going to give us 7x to the 4th. 7x cubed times negative 5 is a negative 35x cubed. Parentheses, subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0, x to the 4th. Good. Negative 37 minus negative 35. Subtracting a negative is like adding. So I'm going to have a negative 37 plus 35. You subtract the two numbers. 37 minus 35 is 2, and take the sign of the larger number. In this case, the larger one was the 37, so it's negative x cubed. Negative 2x cubed is what comes down. All right. So then we want to go ahead and bring down the next piece. So we bring that down here, plus 13x squared. Wash, rinse, repeat. So starting with that first term, we're going to take x. 1 first goes into 13, positive 13 times. I have 1x. I need 2 more. Or I made a mistake. Don't do that. It's bad. Okay, I made that mistake. I said the leading term, and then I didn't look at the leading term. So I caught myself. You can catch yourself too, and you might have to wait until you get to the multiplication. But if you make a mistake, just go back and erase it. What's the worst that can happen? If you write in pen, maybe consider a pencil or a whiteboard. I used to do all my homework on a whiteboard and then transfer it. All right, so going back, because I knew I screwed up, 1 goes into negative 2 times, so I don't even want that there. Negative 2 times. I have 1x. I want 3, so I need 2 more. It's just the way that I handle it. Again, it's however you wish. Once I've gotten my guess here, then I go ahead and I distribute that back through. This is going to give me a negative 2x cubed, and then a positive 10x squared. Remember that I'm distributing through this divisor and bringing it down. So now, negative 2 minus negative 2 is 0, x cubed. 13 minus 10 is 3x squared. We'll go blue. Bring down that negative 29x, negative 29x. Now we start the process all over again. Again, looking at the beginning one so we don't screw up again. 1 goes into 3 times. I have an x, I want 2, I need 1 more. And now I distribute. So I have 3x squared, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15x. Parentheses, subtract. 3 minus 3 is 0, x squareds. Negative 29 minus negative 15. Minus a negative is going to feel like adding. So I've got a positive 15 and a negative 29. Subtract the two. 29 minus 15 is 14. Then, because the 29 was larger and its sign was negative, it becomes negative 14x. All done with that. So our last one here, we're going to bring down our 70. 1 goes into negative 14 times. I have an x, I want 1x, and so I don't need any more. So I don't bother. Distributing through, negative 14 times x is a negative 14x. Negative 14 times negative 5 is a positive 70. And parentheses, and subtract. Negative 14 minus negative 14 is 0. 70 minus 70 is also 0. So I'm done. I'm going to leave it to you to check. I'm going to take the lazy man's way out and just say, yeah, I feel pretty good. So that's it. That's polynomial division in a nutshell. I'll have to make a video about what happens when you have remainders, but ultimately it's the same process. It's just when you get done, you don't get a 0. You get something that's not 0. And, you know, if you want to drop something in the comments, by all means, go ahead. If you're wondering about synthetic division, if you beg me enough, I'll maybe make one, but I don't like it. It's a personal thing. It's like the dirty 4-letter F word. It's gross. Anyway, all right, I hope you all enjoy this. Take care. Be safe. Stay healthy.